Good morning, Stormtroopers. Bryant here. I hope you're ready for some terrific legacy action because that's what I'm going to bring you today. In front of you is the Epic Storm 12.2. I uploaded a video recently that you can check out that, you know, it is pretty much the same thing. So the video was the introduction of Mishra's Bauble. And we are running it over Rite of Flame, so if you're interested in that, go check out that video. The differences are we are not running Thoughtseize in this list, and instead we went back to 2 copies of Defense Grid and an Echo of Eons. If I'm being completely honest, playing Thoughtseize was a little frustrating. There would be times where you'd Thoughtseize your opponent, you'd see Force blue card, where if that was Defense Grid, you probably easily win the game. There's also things like getting Veil of Summered. I was hit by Veil of Summer so many times in the last week and a half testing the Thoughtseize list, and it's just irritating because one of the strengths of the Epic Storm is not being affected by that, and I felt like I was giving that up. So I only got to 20 matches with 12.1, but in 20 matches I was 10 and 10. So far with this list, I've played 20 matches as well, and I'm at a 70 win percentage. Granted, incredibly small sample size. There's tons of things wrong with these numbers, so I don't buy into them super heavily. That said, playing the list, it feels more powerful. Echo of Eons, when you have all these additional zeros, gains a lot of value, which is something I mentioned in the last video. But I was so focused on beating these mid-range decks like Maverick and Death and Taxes that I wanted the Thoughtseizes. Well, those decks have sort of fallen by the wayside a little bit. Like, they're still towards the top of Goldfish, but I'm not running into them in leagues like I was previously. Like, leagues right now are all Delver, and I want the card that I can, crush Delver with, which is Defense Grid. One of the beautiful things about this list is that you can actually cast Defense Grid more frequently on turn one. So previously you had Chrome Mox to power out Defense Grid on turn one. Opal is now a reliable mana source to do the same. Previously, Defense Grid was harder to cast because Opal is rarely active. These Mishra's Baubles are turning on the Mox Opal's Metalcraft, where previously they were Rite of Flame, and you didn't really want to burn a Rite of Flame to cast Defense Grid. So the deck just synergizes a little bit more. The cash in on this Mishra's Bauble works beautifully with Echo. Yeah, so that's the main deck. And we've made a slate swap. I believe this was in the last video, but just in case it wasn't, 3 Verdant, 2 Mire. Without Rite of Flame, the emphasis really is on the green mana. So Bloodstained Mire is better. And you might be asking, Bryant, why aren't you playing Bayou then? The mana lines up well the way that it is. You currently have 3 black, 3 blue, 3 red, 2 green. And you could have a different mana base with 3 green and 2 red, but you lose Pulverize that way. And Pulverize is the best card for beating artifacts, including Chalice of the Wooden Trinisphere. So that's part of the reason. Also, red for Grape Shot or Empty still has quite a bit of value, so you don't want to give that up. Yeah, and when you think of how this deck pairs mana, you really want Underground Sea and Taiga. Trop and Badlands is number 2. While it does cast Abrupt Decay, which is the big reasons that we have these pairings, it's not as ideal. It's just like this is always cantrip or protection, and Badlands is both your combo color, so it can be a little bit awkward. Taiga Sea is just preferred. So if you swap Taiga to Bayou, which is what a lot of people keep on recommending, then you have Volk Bayou. This doesn't cast Abrupt Decay. It's also a little bit awkward because Volk doesn't do anything on the combo turn really, because that means that this has to be a combo land, which means you were required to have Burning Wish if Bayou is your protection. So you have to have Burning Wish Veil, which is just a little weird. We've put so much thought into this mana base that people keep on just suggesting Bayou like it's automatically better. It's not. And I'm not trying to sound like mean or anything. It's just we've really calculated this mana base, and just like off the whim suggestions like they're always better, it's not true. The fact that Bayou taps for both your ritual mana and your protection mana is nice, but you really want one or the other, not both in one. So that's the reason we're not running Bayou. And the board, we're seeing the return of Chain of Vapor. This is mostly because 2 copies of Witherbloom aren't necessary for always boarding them in. You're better off having some flexibility. This was covered in the video that I uploaded with 12.1. Thoughtseize is back as a wish target. If we're not running Thoughtseize in the main deck, we should probably have one on the board. That's one of the big things I actually missed about that list is I believe we had 4 carpet. My mind might be wrong on that one, but I was testing a list with Baubles that had 4 carpet on the board and no Thoughtseize. I missed the Thoughtseize a bunch. I can't remember if that was the video list or one I tested previously, but I'm glad it's back. I do end up burning wishing for it quite a bit. Massacre, I did mention that those Death and Taxes and Maverick decks have fallen off a little bit. It doesn't hurt to keep this. And if for some reason you're on the draw against Maverick or Death and Taxes, this can save you. You don't have to win on turn 1 because we're really like a turn 2 deck at this point. And we're leaning into that with the Mishra's Bauble. It's not because of Mishra's Bauble. Like, we've been a turn 2 deck for a year and a half now, 2 years. So you might as well lean into it and just accept it. The days of Black Belcher are sort of dead, but this new list is much more powerful and resilient. Yeah. So we are running 3 copies of Carpet. It's mostly for board mapping. We are taking out Chrome Mox against Delver and keeping in Baubles. If you want to be someone that takes out Baubles, you can play 4 Carpet. But right now, it makes sense to do 3 Chrome. And the reason that you leave in the Baubles is they turn your Opals down without the card disadvantage. Because Delver is a matchup where every card matters so much. And that's why we're doing it this way. That said, if I feel like I need to bring in Abrupt Decay, I will board out the Baubles for Carpets and Decays and then one of the Mox in. So I switch up my board plans sometimes. I don't always board the same way. I've rambled on a bunch about the Epic Storm. If you want to support this Storm content, you're always welcome to go to theepicstorm.com/donation decks. Sign up for a donation deck. I'm always looking to put new combo content here on this YouTube channel. If you want to see your deck here, that's the place you go. There's 3 different tiers for you to choose from. They're all great. But I recommend you sign up for the Epic tier. Join me here on this channel. Showcase your deck, your ideas, etc. It doesn't have to be Legacy. There's a variety of formats for you to choose from. Go check it out. You can also go to theepicstorm.com/shop. Summer is just around the corner. Pick up a pint glass, a token pack, or a Storm 20 baseball tee to kick off your summer adventures. All right, round number 1 will be coming up in just a second. Enjoy the video. Welcome to round number 1. We are on the draw and we're facing pokerswizard, who I believe is normally a Delver player. We've opened up a hand with literally no mana. We're going to have to ship this. Much better. Okay, so we're looking to draw a Mox Opal is our best draw. Another Lotus Petal would work as well. I think we're actually supposed to bottom a Veil of Summer here. And, ooh, Chancellor, the Annex. Okay. Black-Red Reanimator. This hand would have been a lot better on the play. Alright, so a 0-mana artifact will do. Chrome Mox, Lotus Petal, Mox Opal, Lion's Eye Diamond, those will all do. Dark Ritual will do. They discarded Unmask, which is pretty interesting. The Chancellor trigger will happen. We will pay. Alright, unfortunately we're a mana short. That said, next turn we can Veil to stop the Chancellor trigger, essentially. But the issue with that is then we don't have enough mana to cast Burning Wish. You need to get lucky here and just hope that they miss. So they're at 6. I don't. So our best shot is that our opponent has to pass the turn, but I don't know how likely that is. They could always try to put Chancellor into play. Um, that's a good sign. And they're switching phases. Alright, so we're going to get game number 1 over Black-Red Reanimator. What we're going to do is fetch for a Red Source, Dark Ritual, Burning Wish, Tendrils, and they're at 6. Alright, and they're just figuring out what they want to discard. So it's worth noting that we do have a few dig cards in this matchup. We have 2 copies of Defense Grid that need to come out. We have a Chain of Vapor and a Thoughtseize that can come in. I'm just going to be careful here and grab the Badlands. Like, the only way we can lose this now is if I misplay. So let's not do that. Wooch wooch. We beat a Gristlebrand. What up? Game number 1 is ours. Alright. So like I said, we don't really want these defense grids. And instead we want these Chain of Vapors and Thoughtseize. Veil of Summer is not that great. Like you saw there, it does stop Unmask, Thoughtseize. It also can counter the Chancellor ability. That said, it's pretty weak overall. But we don't really have anything better, so we're just going to hit submit. And if you enjoyed that, hit that subscribe button. You can see tons of more great Storm content just like that. All you have to do is subscribe. And then if you appreciate this content and you're already subscribed, just like and comment down below. Do me a favor, do that. Wow, this is a turn 1 win through a Chancellor trigger. We are keeping this. And our opponent's taking a mulligan. Wow, what a hand. Alright, we need to hope that they don't have much going on. Okay, so is there a card that they can take here that stops us from winning? I don't think that there is. I think our hand is literally Thoughtseize proof. Because if they take Dark Ritual, I can Ad Nauseam using these 5. If they take Wishclaw Talisman, I can Peer. If they take Burning Wish, I can Ad Nauseam. If they take Lotus Petal, I have Ad Nauseam. If they take LED, I can Ad Nauseam. Actually, wait. So we'll have those 3 Dark Ritual. We're actually a mana short of Ad Nauseam, so I think they're supposed to take Lion's Eye Diamond. I think that's actually the correct play here, is taking a Lion's Eye Diamond. Even though it might not seem obvious, because most of the time with discard spells, the rule is you discard a card that they don't have 2 of. So that might not be obvious to our opponent. They might have to do the math there to see that. So they're going to 17 life. That's another thing to remember. Yeah. I guess I shouldn't think about this too much until we see what they discard and we get our draw step. Alright, well, they made the wrong choice. We're going to peer them now. Assuming, okay, they also have Unmasked. Alright, so we are not going to peer them. Alright, so we're in the boat where we now need another protection spell. They're down to 2 cards. Veil Summer's an okay draw. Like, I'm not actually thrilled with it, but it's fine. Well, we should be able to cycle it or stop another discard spell. It's interesting. So if they had double discard spell, I think that they were supposed to take the pair of Lions at Diamonds, because then our hand doesn't do anything. And now I'm in a spot where if I top deck, I can win the game. But they might just have it all. Jeez. Do you have Reanimate? No Reanimate. Come on, deck. Lots of outs. That's not it. Double Petal. So they hit land 2. Right, so they definitely have like an Exhume next turn or an Animate Dead. Come on. We're just drawing blanks. We have 6 tutors, an Ad Nauseam, and an Echo. I would take a Ponder or a Brainstorm if I'm being honest. There it is. So at the bare minimum, we can cycle Veil of Summer. The downside is, I don't even want to say it out loud. All right, they're passing. All right, I'm going to cycle Veil. And I'm not going to fetch, because if I draw a Brainstorm or a Ponder, I need this. Yeah, I'm just going to take the draw. Okay. Step 1. Hey! That's what I'm talking about. Who needs tutors where you can just draw your one-ofs? Am I right? Black RB Reanimator. Get out of here! We'll stop there. All right, so that means that we are 1-0 in the Legacy Challenge. Don't go anywhere. I'm sure every match will be just as exciting as this. You don't want to regret leaving, do you? All right, round number 2 coming up in just a second. Welcome to round number 2. We're on the draw against Wombo Combo. I don't really know what they play, if I'm being honest, but this hand, it's explosive, so if they're not on a blue deck, this hand's pretty bananas. I think I'm going to try it. Alright, well, it's a blue deck. It makes this hand a little bit worse. Did not shuffle. Okay. Well, we could peer. I don't know how good that is. I'm just gonna jam. That resolved? Wow. Holy, I can't believe that all resolved. Wow. If I had to guess, they're on Delver. They could be on Sneak and Show, but I'm just going to submit this. Carpet's not awful against Sneak and Show if that's what they are playing, but I can't believe that actually worked. Don't judge me. I'm keeping it. Mox Opal with these baubles is significantly better than with Rite of Flame. This is a really risky keep. I'm really hoping to draw land on turn 1. It is Delver. Okay. Oh, that's a good reveal for them. Let's just take our draw. I want to keep this Bauble because it's currently enabling Metalcraft. Okay, that was decent. Let's play Wishclaw. I will take 2 forces. I'm fine with that. Did not shuffle, so they're rug. Come on, resolve. Alright, so they're on no cards. That's fine. Let's see what their next... We're going to look at their draw and their upkeep, so that way we'll have some information. We might be looking at Peer into the Abyss. Whale. Okay. We can at the bare minimum Echo on our turn, but I would like a draw that allows us to Peer. Carpet +1. Okay. What does this do? So we still have a land drop. And they're tapped out, which means they can't have Stifle. So I think that this is our window. All we want to draw off this Echo is mana. Like, that's it. Okay, it's a little weird, but still fine. Alright, so I know that... Okay. What we're going to do now, I think, is brainstorm. We just need to find mana off the brainstorm. And the reason I'm casting brainstorm over ponder is multiple pieces of mana work here. Like those. So as long as one of these resolves, we win. Alright, that should do it. Our opponent says GG's Wombo. Wooch wooch. 2-0 beating Black Red Reanimator and a Rug Delver. And we had a sweet True 1 Peer into the Abyss. I told you these matches would be insane. And thank you for sticking around. Round number 3 will be coming up in just a second. Alright, welcome to round number 3. We're on the play against Kosaka. And according to Goldfish, this opponent runs a lot of Moon Stompy. This hand's probably just too slow. I'd love to keep this against a fair opponent, though. Yeah, their last 3 decks are all Moon Stompy. I think we need to ship it. Not keeping that. Alright, so this is turn 1 Wishclaw. And then turn 2 go get Echo. It's not great. I do think it's probably a keep. Our opponent's also mulliganing to 5. Not feeling too confident in this game right now. Alright, so next turn we have Burning Wish or Echo. Turn 3 we have Echo. It's just probably too slow. Alright, opponent, what do you have? Okay. If you want to play creatures, I'm okay with it. Ugh. The shells rip. Yeah, that's going to stop us dead in our tracks. Okay, so we just need a green source. Okay, so next turn I can Wishclaw for green source. Okay, we have a plan right now. We're not dead yet. I don't know how much this is. I'm not even going to bother. Oh, it's exact? You're killing me. Come on. Oh, that's disappointing. We're going to leave one Veil on the deck and do that. Friendly reminder, if you want to support this content, you can do so by going to theepicstorm.com/shop. Get any of these lovely items. I highly recommend the token pack. With the token pack, you get 54 tokens. 54 tokens for $12. They are mini, but you get 20 storm, 10 red, 10 black, 10 red, 6 blue, 3 of the rest. 54 goblin tokens on the back, 6 of each, and they're mini. If you're not interested in tokens, you can always get card singles from theepicstorm.com/shop. Uh, yeah, we have tons of stuff. Mostly Legacy the Epic Storm cards. All right, game 2, we are on the play. I will be keeping this, though. So this is turn 1, 12 goblins, right? No, it is not. Our opponent's going to 4 cards. It's worth noting their last 3 results are all with like a mono red meets Eldrazi deck, where this is just Basuda red. So I can play Chromox, Burning Wish. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to. That means I have Ad Nauseam next turn. The downsides here are that if they have Trinisphere, I'm in a really bad spot. Because this guarantees a turn 2 Nauseam. You could turn 1 Echo, but I don't think that's a very good line against the opponent that mulligan to 4. Okay. They usually doesn't mean Trinisphere. They could go SSG Trinisphere, but as of right now, I'm not expecting it. This could be a Chalice on 1. They choose to Chalice 0. Well, my Lotus Petal looks foolish. I'm going to choose to not play my land because we're most likely going to reveal a land at some point that doesn't care about the life. So realistically, we have 2 cards here that are good. We have a Chain of Vapor and a Veil of Summer that both get through this Chalice. Well, Echo is not the way I wanted to start, if I'm being honest. I guess I could just like flip Tendrils and then win that way. Think I might stop at 6. Go to 5. I'm just like trying to think through my sequencing here. And next turn I can Pulverize. There's the Tendrils. Yeah, let's keep tendrils. We can discard 2 lands and Echo, and then I think we need to ditch 1 more card. Get rid of the Chromox. So realistically, our opponent really only needs to deal us 4 here. And that would shut off the Delta. We could mini tendrils if we needed to, but that'd be an issue. If their land here was a soul land, they could have gone like soul land, activate Wishclaw Trinisphere, which would have been difficult to beat. They're choosing to activate Claw. Sure. Okay, so we're going to go to 4. And blue, black, black, red, red. Why not? Probably use the blue mana. Alright, so here we can get Thoughtseize just to make sure that it's not like something, I don't know. Alright, so we've stolen game number 2 from Moon Stompy. Granted, they did mulligan to 4, so it's nothing to like be too thrilled with. Updating my spreadsheet real quick. We're going to be on the draw for game number 3. So our opponent's shown that they're really likely to Trail 0, which makes Veil of Summer better. So Thoughtseize can come out on the draw because it's just like dead. But part of me is wondering if I want a Veil of Summer over Witherbloom command. I don't think the answer is yes. Just in case, because Witherbloom can blow up a Chalice 1. We have 3 answers to Chalice 0. Yeah, let's try this out. Why not? And while we're waiting, you can open up the description. Go to the social section and join the Combo Cabal by clicking on any social media that you're a part of and joining our group. I highly recommend it. We have a great community. Show your support. Okay, it's game time. Game number 3 against Basuda Red. Our opponent is Kasaka, not Basuda, but same deck. We're on the draw, and they've mulliganed to 6. This is an explosive hand. I'm kind of tempted to keep this. I know it doesn't answer Chalice, but it's explosive. I think I'm going to try it and then regret it. Our opponent mulligans very aggressively. They're on 5. They did open up game 1 on just turn 1 Rabble, and that's sort of what I'm hoping for here. And I think I would, assuming that they don't play a hate piece on turn 1, I would go Lotus Petal Brainstorm, so that way we don't get Brainstorm locked. They're in their main phase. Not what I want to see. Ugh. We just lost. We're not going to be trying to serve with this hand. Especially backed by that. Alright, so we're 2-1 now. Not the end of the world. Plenty of Magic still have to play. Sorry that I lost a match. It happens. Not the end of the world. Alright. Don't go anywhere. Alright, round number 4. We have an uphill battle. Our opponent's Goldfish history is Legacy Merfolk. It's a very difficult matchup. Chalice plus Force of Will. Here we have Defense Grid, which I actually really like in the matchup. But is this hand good enough? We would really have to draw land number 2. And if they chalice 0, we're just blown out of the water. I'm going to regret this. And they are, in fact, on Merfolk. Well, that was very, very good. I want that Dark Ritual. So next turn I'm going to play Defense Grid. Probably off of a Chrome Mox. Okay. Okay. So that was actually really good for us. I am sort of hoping that our opponent misses their land drop now. And then we'll just have to worry about Curse Catchers. We would fetch away the Veil of Summer, assuming that this goes well for us. Stand still. Okay. Their last list doesn't have Wasteland in it, so I could probably fetch it on basic. That said, I think I might want to get Badlands anyway. One thing to be worried about is if we want to draw Lion's Eye Diamond. That would be one of our better draws, or another Dark Ritual in case they draw another Curse Catcher off Standstill. So this beats one Curse Catcher. Their list only has 3. It's a little bit risky here. Please resolve. No, not like this. Come on. Damn it. There's only 2 left in the deck. They happen to find it. I could have pondered, but you have to find exactly Dark Ritual or Lion's Eye Diamond. So ponder, yeah, you'd have to find one of those two. Maybe I was supposed to. I don't know. But that was backbreaking. I knew the risk. It's not like I didn't think of it. Punished. Okay, we're not out of this yet. I'm just going to pass. I don't really want to play Wishclaw into their open mana. Because my plan to win this game is via Echo. So if they ever tap under defense grid, we can Echo. I don't know what they think they're doing with this defense grid in play. Come on, tap some mana on your turn. Get in there with Mutable. It'll be good for you. Those are big fish. Alright, so they chose to leave back Mutable. Maybe they have something post-combat, like a Standstill. I don't know. But I think they probably should have attacked with that. So now we have a window here where we can resolve Echo of Eons. Come on, deck. Be good to me. So you can ponder to exactly Tendrils, and even that's not enough, or you can brainstorm and hit multiple runners. I think we're supposed to brainstorm. They have lethal next turn, so there is no passing the turn. Unfortunately, that's not going to do it. Even if this Bauble is Rite of Flame, we don't have enough mana. It just doesn't do anything. Hope that opponent misses lethal, I guess. Or I should probably play the Bauble. It doesn't matter. I'm supposed to do it on their upkeep, but Silvergill will adopt. Alright, well, they decided to attack with Mutavault now. Plus, they have another Lord. Lord would have worked on its own previously. They didn't actually need to activate Mutavault this turn. But we are dead. So we definitely want Carpet. I think we don't want the Grape Shot. Decays make a lot of sense when trying to beat Chalice of the Void. Our opponent's last list has some spicy cards in the board. They have a Back to Basics. They have one copy of Damping Sphere, and they have a Cage and a 4th Chalice. I wonder if I'm supposed to bring in this Chain of Vapor. Which brings us up to 6 cards coming in. I think we're supposed to board out Bauble, unfortunately, and then like one of each Mox. Something like this. Let's try this out. You could leave in like one Chrome Mox over the Chain of Vapor, but I want Outset Damping Sphere. It's going to be really difficult for us to beat that card. Um, you might think that I punted with the ad nauseum line and that I should have pondered. It's possible. Um, but I'm not going to do all that. I'm just going to try to win. I don't think that's necessarily a punt either. Sure. I don't love this hand. So next turn we're looking to brainstorm away this Chrome Mox and then cast another Ponder. Alright, they're looking to make our carpets worse. Alright, now we're looking for action. Hand is shaping up. Okay. So carpet's looking pretty embarrassing right now. Whoops. Echo of Eons. Let's go. Or that. I will gladly take that. I think I'm going to pass because I can play Wishclaw with double Veil back up next turn. Because like this sort of hand, it says to me that they kept it because there were counters in it, and I don't want to lose to those. So I get to play Badlands and then keep up my 2 green sources, activate Wishclaw and ad nauseum. We did board out a few zeros, so our opals aren't going to be as reliable. We don't have as many Chrome Mox. Merfolk's just a very difficult matchup. Realizing this, their last list doesn't have Standstill in it, so they're definitely playing a different list. Pitching Echoing Truth. We're like pretty far away from being able to win with just like Brainstorm. Like if I cast Brainstorm, let's say, it is a free storm, but is the mana worth it? Because if I don't hit a replacement mana, it's just worse. So I think I'm not going to. I'm gonna float a block. Oh, ad nauseum, be good to me. A little rough so far. Come on, Doc. Okay. The carpets don't do anything. They are storm count, so we can switch mana. Well, we have 1 mana floating, so we would have to find more mana. Alright, does that do it? Storm's 4. just need to think this through. So we play Lotus Petal, play 2 carpets. So that would be +3 storm. So that would bring us to 7, 8, 9, and that's still 1 storm short. We have to flip, I think. And that'll do. Okay, so do we even need to switch? Do we even need to play carpets anymore? That's another question. So storm's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think we need to play the carpets anymore. I can just ponder and then Burning Wish. Alright, so we stole game number 2. Yeah, the previous list that they had didn't have standstill in it at all, so they're playing a different list. I don't even know if these decays are good, but I'm going to keep them in anyway, just in case they do have a damping sphere or something. And I'm just going to resubmit. Hopefully it's good enough. The sand is not great. I think I'm actually going to mulligan this. Much better. We just need to draw a black source. Ah, well that hurts. So Veil of Summer does beat Chalice. So if we can look into playing Grid and then resolving a Veil, we can beat that. Come on, Veil of Summer. So it's going to sound strange. I'm going to get Swamp here. Some of the roles had back to basics in the board, and I don't want to be stone cold dead to it. We just really need to draw a Veil. Alright, so Burning Wish for Pulverize is what we're looking for at this point. So we can use Wish Claw to go get Burning Wish. It's just like a really long line. And we're definitely stuck in a difficult spot right now. That said, we can just sit here and take some draws. Their clock isn't going to get any faster with the standstill in play. Like, they can play Mutable, but that's it. So we can try to draw a few Abrupt Decay. There's the Burning Wish. Alright, well, their clock just got a little bit faster, so we're going to 11 now. None of their previous lists had Force and Negation in it, so I don't know how likely they are to have it. But I would love to draw Veil of Summer. So next turn they're going to deal us 4. I think I need to cast this now. Otherwise, we get into this awkward spot where this stops us from winning. Witherbloom doesn't do it. Yeah, it has to be Pulverize. So if we draw another protection spell, like another Wish Claw or a Burning Wish, we can use Wish Claw as our protection piece instead of being our action spell. So this says to me that they have a force in hand if they're willing to play out all this. Well, things just got complicated. What can I do? That Chalice is actually super good. So there's 3 Forcible left on the deck. We haven't seen Force and Negation all match. It wasn't in their previous 2 lists. That said, I don't know if we can win the game if I don't... Like, Wish Claw's our action spell. All they have to do is play a Lord next turn, and we go to 1, and then I can't fetch for a bad land. So I do need to fetch this turn. The problem is I can't win if... the Pulverize is countered. I can't imagine they would have played Chalice if they didn't have a counter. So, like, one thing I could hypothetically do is go get Defense Grid, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, 1, we don't have an action spell. That's the line. Like, no action spell. 2, I have to fetch to cast it, and then I can't even cast the Pulverize after. And then we don't have an action spell. So I think the best line here is to get Burning Wish and just pray that the Pulverize resolves, because then we can peer into the Abyss with Veil back up. Please resolve. Nope, they had the Force. And we could try to Veil, but they drew the Chalice, so we can't even do that. Yep, the hate pieces got us. Okay, we are now 2-2. All right, round 5. We're on the play. We are likely dead for top 8 at this point, but we're just going to try to win out, get some prizes. This seems fine. Our opponent does have Delvers, their resultant goldfish. So this hand does need some sort of action, or not action, protection spell. That said, we have plenty of mana, which is usually the choke point in the Delver matchup, so I think that this is likely a keep. We just have to draw into that protection spell. And I could Bauble for information, but I excuse me. I think due to having double Opal, I'm going to sit on the Bauble for a little bit. And they were a Stifle version of Delver. Okay, that's a good pickup. Come on, force it. If they force this, I will fetch. And I might want to fetch anyway just to avoid Stifle. Opponent's thinking pretty hard on this Witch Claw. So if this resolves, we're allowed to cash in Mishra's Bauble, which is kind of nice. Okay. And in theory, I could have Baubled myself for information. I'm more interested in just making sure that we have our mana. Opponent thinking here. We need more mana in general. Our best draw would actually be a Lion's Eye Diamond because that would give us enough mana to ad nauseum with Veil backup through days. Alright, come on, opponent. Let's go. Playing Delver's not that difficult. Wow, they figured out their land drop. That's impressive. Alright, so we get our Bauble draw. Not that great. We're just going to pass back. No reveal again. Mishra's Bauble. It's interesting. I guess it does make your glyphs larger. See what we can find here. It's not too bad. So this gets Thoughtseize, and then next turn we can add Nauseam with Thoughtseize Veil back up. Opponent's very deliberate. Force pitch days, sure. So Delver flips, Ponder is revealed. Sure. Alright, so they're down to 4 cards. I think I want to lead on fetching on our turn. I mean, I'm going to draw the LED on top. They have 4 cards. So if they force this, I can sacrifice LED for 3 green, and then Veil of Summer floating 1, which would play through a daze. I think that we could probably assume that our opponent has a Bolt in hand, and that's something we should try to play around if we can, but if we can't afford to, there's no point in trying to. Force pitch daze, okay. And I'm getting stifled. So they had everything, unfortunately. And because they're eating their clock, I'm going to force them to attack me to death if they're going to sit there and tank forever on things. I know it might not be fun for you to watch, but it will cause them to play at a different pace if there is a game 3. So they found room for Stifle in their Expressive Iteration deck. Honestly, I'm not trying to make fun of our opponent here, but like this is almost bad deck building because you can't really abuse Expressive Iteration with things like Stifle. You usually want to put those effects that work together. Like Bauble makes sense because it's a free spell you can play off the iteration, but Stifle is not the same. All right, so we have to pass here. If we draw Lion's Eye Diamond or Echo, we can in theory try to Echo with Veil back up. And there's the Bolt I thought that they had. And that would actually make sense because they drew the Bauble, which is why that didn't flip. So their last card in hand after those 3 blue cards was a Bolt. They found another Bolt. What is this? I wonder if I'm supposed to cycle Veil. Just to give me better odds of finding the Diamond or the Echo. And they found Bolt, so I'm just dead. Alright. Yep. Going to game 2. Pretty standard boarding. We're just going to take out the Mox End for the carpets. Not going to board in Decay. I'm willing to bet that the deck that has Mishra's Bauble and it probably doesn't have No Rod, but you never know. You never know. If you want to support this content, you can go to theepicstream.com/donation to show your support. Okay, on the play for game number 2. This seems fine. We'll try this out. So I think we're supposed to lead on Trop into Carpet. You could lead on Verdant to help beat Stifle, but we really want this Verdant to become Badlands, so there's reason why you wouldn't want to lead on it, because if like for some reason Carpet got forced, then you don't have a black source. And that's just bad. Alright, turn 1 Delver Secrets. Not bad. I don't think we really need the second wish, at least not right now. So next turn I'm looking to maybe try to resolve this defense grid. Okay. So this is likely digging for a force. So we can add Nauseum right now. We did take 3 copies of Chromox out of our deck. We have a Burning Wish on top that we don't really want. But I haven't played a land. Good start. Let's find an LED. Another defense grid. So now is the point where we need to start counting mana. So we have a land drop, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 6. That's the magic number. So there is a Tendrils in the deck that kills us. We could stop and cast Brainstorm and hope to hit off the Brainstorm. Or I can flip again. The problem is if we miss, it's really bad. Because like they have Wishclaw for Bolt. I think I'm just going to flip. Now we're at 1. Alright, I'm not going to flip. I am going to stop and cast Brainstorm. So that's 4 mana in play, and then our 5th is a land drop. Yeah, there's just no way around it. I need to brainstorm. So it replaced mana, but that's actually not good enough. And they're at 18. I don't think I can get up to grape shot range. Two storm short. Because I could play and activate Claw, but then I don't have any mana. Wait, actually, wait, I think we have it. Sorry, I forgot that I can switch phases with Carpet. I think we actually have this. Yeah, we just go get LED. So I remember, like, I knew that you could switch phases with Carpet. I forgot we were getting the mana from it. Like, it just didn't register for a second. So this is spell number 16, 17, 18 being Grape Shot. By the skin of our teeth. Wooch wooch. We took game number 2. Something we could do, but I'm not against this, is just boarding down on Baubles against the... Because we know that our opponent's a Stifle version, so we could board down on Bauble. Alright, I'm going to try it. I'm not sure if I like this board plan. Another thought that I had is you could shave 1 Opal, 1 Chrome, and bring back in 2 Baubles. We open-handed the singleton Chrome Mox. I'm sorry, my bad. That is not accurate. We have 3 Chrome Moxes in our deck. But this hand seems fine. Did not shuffle off Ponder. Come on, deck. Those are cards I want to draw off ad nauseum, not here. Maybe boarding in the chromes was a mistake. Because if those were baubles, this hand is probably significantly better. This person plays glacially. Well, that was a good draw. Are we allowed to have a few lands? I guess not. Assuming that this resolves, I will switch phases and cast Wishclaw. Come on. This person's just so slow. Which is why I didn't concede that first game. They have 6 cards. We know 2 of them are lands. They didn't play Volk, so we know that they don't have Pyroblast. Up at least right now, so it's a good time to play this. I don't know if I want to keep the Burning Wish or not. It's part of the reason I didn't fetch there. I think if this resolves, I'm getting Volcanic. So they've used 2 days. They've used 1 Stifle. Their last list had 3 Stifle in it, so I think it's fair to assume they probably have 2 more. Alright, well, they're about to hit 6 minutes on their clock. They still have to deal 17 damage in that time. Spell Snare. That's a spicy one. Okay. I wasn't quite expecting those. They were in their last list, so they were in the board though. The snare was a 1 of, and they have 2 peers. That's fine. Sort of planning on just taking this game slowly. We're not under any pressure right now. So next turn I'm going to try to cast Burning Wish. Sure. And then turn after that, we can cast Brainstorm. Hopefully fetch away the Chrome Mox that's on top. But by then we'll have drawn the Chrome Mox, so that Brainstorm will look at a fresh 3 cards. Interesting. Basic Forest is like pretty strange. That's a clock. So we're going to 12 next turn. So I grab Pure because I think it's the easiest way of beating a Stifle. I have 2 cards. I almost think that I'm supposed to shuffle away Wishclaw, because then I don't play into Stifle at all. Because if I take Claw and play Claw here, next turn they can stifle the activation. And then I'm like sort of cold to Stifle. So this is interesting because we found Opal. We could take the Chrome Mox. Well, let's say we put Wishclaw on the bottom. And next turn we go Ritual. It's 7, but no way of protecting it. I think I'm going to shuffle. Not very good. I guess it opens up LED as an out. Oh. I don't think it's going to do. We have exactly 7 mana. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have Stifle on hand based on how this is playing out. Um, Empty isn't going to do anything because they can just fly over. I think we're just dead. I will allow them to stifle me. Whoops, the wrong card. We needed to draw something that turn, like a carpet would have given us enough mana. But unfortunately, instead we lost. We only had 2 carpets left, so it's sort of a tall ask anyway. So technically our out here is if we draw Burning Wish, we can Burning Wish and Grape Shot the Delver. Not gonna do it. Alright. So we are now 2 and 3, unfortunately. Alright. Round number 6. We're on the Dragon's Yamakiller. They usually switch between Chalice strategies and Delver, so let's see what they're playing today. Delver it is. They're probably double queuing if I had to guess. Oh, it's Sneak and Show. Defense grid? I'll take a claw. Alright, so we have to assume that Yama probably has a force. Does this resolve? Alright, so we can cast Chromox, sacrifice this, and then ad nauseum. Okay, so we took game number 1 over Yamakiller on Sneak and Show. I don't think I'm going to change the deck at all. I'm just going to resubmit. Once again, please open up that description and follow our social media channels. Do both yourself and me a favor. Sure. Yamakiller is taking a mulligan. Now to 5. Now to 4. I don't know what they're mulling for. That's pretty good. Trying to figure out what's the best line here. I think it's actually ad nauseum on the bottom. Yama has not taken their draw step yet, so they probably are double queuing. What is this? Oh, it doesn't say what the card is. I don't know what that is. They're on 3. So I think I'm going to try to Burning Wish for Thoughtseize this turn. And then next turn we have Dark Ritual ad nauseum with Veil backup. And we can pay for days at any point, so we don't need to try to veil. All right, 3-3. 1 round left to go. Let's see if we can at least finish this with a winning record. Welcome to the final round. We are on the draw against Arctic Puffin. Their history as on Goldfish has a lot of elves, so sort of putting them on elves here. This ad nauseum is not that great because we can't cast it. We have Lion's Eye Diamonds, so we're looking to draw a Wish Claw or a Burning Wish into Echo, most likely. Okay, well, they're not on elves. They resolve pretty quickly. Alright, Burning Wish off the top means peer into the abyss. Dark Ritual means ad nauseum. Wish Call would likely mean Echo. Alright, so they're on Sneak and Show. Oh, they're on Karn. Oh, come on, Doc. Yep, we just can't ever beat that. We had a window too. Supposed to board out Ponders in here. Let's try this out. Once again, if you want to support this content, you can do so by going to theepicstorm.com/shop. Okay, so we're on the play for game number 2. This is a strong hand. This is turn 1 play grid so we don't run into Force of Will. Turn 2 peer. Looks like they're F6'd. I probably could have resolved peer there. All the mana. So we're going to win game number 2 over Urza. This is a nightmare matchup, and we're going to be on the draw for game number 3, so I'm not too excited. What did you keep? They have Fluster Storms. That's interesting. Most lists don't play that. Alright, so we've taken game number 2. I don't think I'm going to change anything. I'm just going to leave it as is. Hit submit. And once again, if you want to stay up to date on the latest version of the Epic Storm, you can do so by opening up the description and following all of our social channels. But also make sure to subscribe, like, comment, please. All right, it's all coming down to this. We're on the draw, game number 3 I think that this hand is ultimately a keep. Trails on 0 is interesting. Before they draw Hull Breacher. Tendrils is not what I wanted. Tangle Wire, sure. In our upkeep, we can Abrupt Decay the Chalice. This is a weird deck. It's not pure Urza. Get rid of that Chalice. Brainstorm. I feel like I'd take a Brainstorm. So I'm going to untap the Underground Sea. That trigger goes in the stack. I'm going to cast this. We don't need 2 protection spells. So that can go back. So can that. Let's fetch, because I don't really want to redraw those. Does that do it? So land. Yeah, I mean, we're not protected from Fluster. Yeah, they're not F6 like they were before. I'm going to play these out just to avoid Chalice. If by playing this turn, we save mana for next turn. Okay, I think we actually win. I could have veiled, but like our opponent can't have anything that matters. And that's going to be game right there. And I'm just going to veil them now because I can, instead of tapping stuff to Tangle Wire. Alright. And now he tendrils. Okay, so that means that we're going to finish this event 4-3, which is a pretty mediocre record. I don't know if it really had much to do with the list as much as like some of our matchups and some of our breaks. Yeah. So looking at this is the list. Yeah, like I thought Bauble was pretty good today. I liked the Chain of Vapor. Sort of want 4 carpets, but I think in order to fit carpet 4, you either have to cut the chain or the Thoughtseize, and I enjoy both of them. And if you're playing carpet, I think the plan is to board out Baubles. And the one matchup where we kept in the Mox and they were worse than Baubles, so I think that this is probably correct. Let me know what you think. I'm always looking to improve, and I appreciate you watching, especially if you've made it this far. So have a great day and keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.